Nikolaj Ehlers is a Carolina Hurricane. This free agent class was admittedly kinda lacking on the big names, but Nikolaj Ehlers was one of the biggest, and he lands with, honestly, kind of a perfect fit, the Hurricanes. 6-year contract, $8.5 million per season. Nikolaj Ehlers is already 29, and this deal will take him until 2031 when he's 35 years old. Now, Carolina, for a while, has been flirting with just becoming Team Finland, but all of a sudden, they are the Dane train, because now both Frederik Andersen and Ehlers, hailing from Denmark, are Canes. They're on the same team, wearing red and white. We're practically at the Olympics. Listen, this is really interesting. For me, I'm less fascinated about Ehlers and more fascinated about the Hurricanes as a whole. But let's talk about Ehlers. Since he was drafted in 2014, Nikolaj Ehlers is either the most underrated, overrated guy or the most overrated, underrated guy in NHL history. I think that means he's just rated. To me, honestly, he's steady as she comes. The biggest red flag that I see throughout his NHL career is the ability to play a full season. He has played in all 82 games 3 times throughout his NHL career, and in fact, one of those 2 times was 2 seasons ago. But he missed 20 games in 18-19. In 19-20, it says that he played 71 games, but that's because of stupid COVID. It's tricky. The next season, he only plays 47 out of a possible 56. Then 62 out of a possible 82 again, so he misses 20 games again. In the 2022-23 season, he produced really well, but missed 37 games. Then obviously he plays the full season. And then last season, somehow he actually beat his point total from the season before, despite only playing in 69 games instead of 82. In those 69 games, 24 goals, 39 assists, and 63 points. The 63 points, almost a career high of 64 that he set as a sophomore. If you're looking at the Hurricanes' needs, Ehlers' overall resume in the playoffs is a bit tough. In his first 37 Stanley Cup playoff games, he only had 4 goals. It's kind of tough for a guy you're expecting to score every 3 or 4 games. But last season in the playoffs, he was actually very good. In 8 Stanley Cup playoff games, he had 5 goals and another 2 assists for 7 points with the Jets. Here's my thing. It's a good fit, and I haven't decided if that's a compliment or not. Like, Nikolaj Ehlers, a consistent producer. Every year, he's going to score 25-ish goals. He's going to get you, if he's healthy, 60-ish, maybe more-ish points. Keeping in mind that a lot of his years in Winnipeg, it was difficult to get first-line cookies and first power play cookies and stuff like that. If he's given a bigger opportunity in Carolina, which I assume he will because he's making $8.5 million, maybe he's capable of producing more than that. He's a guy with impeccable analytics and kind of always has been. Generally speaking, good things happen when he's on the ice, and his team has the puck more than the other team when he's on the ice. He's also listed at 6 foot. Somewhere between $170 and $175. And you might have noticed a slight stank to what I just said. Listen, Nikolaj Ehlers is an unreal player. He's unreal. There's no criticism there. And $8.5 million is honestly, with the way this free agency is going, a downright reasonable cap hit. Maybe with a slight concern on the age he's going to be at the end of all this. But also, like, the cap's going to continue to go up and up and up. And it's not like the Hurricanes are up against the cap either. We'll talk about that in a minute. But to me, Nikolaj Ehlers just makes the Hurricanes a better version of what they already are. And there are teams around the league who, becoming a better version of what they already are, is the goal. With Carolina, I don't know, I'm just not so sure. They're harder to evaluate than the Leafs to me. The Leafs are actually very easy. Do very well during the regular season. Playoffs arrive. The Hurricanes win 2 series almost every year. They get at least halfway to their goal almost every year. I don't think you're allowed to call them a bad playoff team when they win at least 1 series almost every year, often 2. And even though he had a good playoffs last year, recency bias, and at least I'm admitting that's what this is, suggests that the NHL is skewing towards big, tough meanies. Now, Ehlers is a tough nut. He's feisty, don't get me wrong. I remember from the Canadian bubble season, Ehlers going at it with Joe Thornton, who is significantly taller and heavier. It was a really weird matchup. I guess what I'm seeing with the Ehlers signing when I look at the Carolina Hurricanes, okay, that's good. That's a good player. It makes you a better team. It makes you deeper, but I'm still left with a sense of what's next. And here's why. According to Puckpedia.com, the Carolina Hurricanes have $10.6 million, a little over actually, in cap space for this upcoming season. This is for a team that just signed Nikolaj Ehlers and also acquired Keandre Miller, by the way. Here's what the team looks like, and again, it's Puckpedia. They're not doing this in exact depth order, but here's what the Hurricanes have to play with. Their goaltending is Anderson Kochetkov. It feels like it's been that forever. On defense, Slavin's one of the best shutdown D, if not the best in the entire NHL. Chatfield had a great season last year. You have Keandre Miller, who you just got, Sean Walker, who you just got last year, Gostisbehere, Nikishin. It's interesting because they did just lose Brent Burns, and even though he's 40, played a surprising amount of hockey for them. Could their defense be a little bit better? Maybe. It's definitely adequate. It's all right. Left side, Ehlers. Svechnikov is listed there, although I think he's more of a right. Taylor Hall. Martinook is a great player. Also available on the other side, you got Jarvis, Stankoven. Maybe that's why Svetch is on the left. Jackson Blake, Eric Robinson. You're putting together a nice little team, okay. Up the middle, Top line, you got Sebastian Aho. He's obviously sick. Then it's Jesperi Kotkaniemi, Jordan Staal, Mark Jankowski. Jordan Staal had 36 points in 75 games as a 36-year-old. As your 3 seed, that's fine. He'll be 37 when the season starts. Only 2 goals and 3 points in 15 playoff games. Jankowski was actually a pretty good acquisition for the Hurricanes in the whole Rantanen debacle. Dude, I am kind of done with that whole Kotkaniemi thing. Now, it's crazy. It feels like he's been in the NHL forever, but Kotkaniemi is still only 24. Last season, in a 78-game season, mind you, he had 12 goals. A total of 33 points. He had less than Jordan Staal. And in the playoffs, in 14 games, he had 4 assists, 0 goals. In 11 games in the previous playoffs, he had 1 assist and 0 goals. That means he has 5 assists and no goals in his last 25 Stanley Cup playoff games with the Carolina Hurricanes. That's your 2C? I mean, even your 3. Now, here's the good news. Still 24. He could improve. And that is exactly what you should tell the team you're trading him to. Like, I'm not ripping the Hurricanes apart here. What I'm trying to say is they look good. They look even better. They still have to get better than that. They have over $10 million in cap space. It's difficult out there because who on earth do you go out and sign with that $10 million in cap space? This summer, slim pickings. That's why I say keep your eyes out for the Carolina Hurricanes in a trade. Today, I was just daydreaming about who the Leafs could go out and get, and I was thinking, ooh, Brian Rust sounds fun. But then I remembered his teammate and thought, oh my gosh, that makes a little too much sense for the Carolina Hurricanes, Ricard Raquel. Or hey, maybe you don't go in that direction. Maybe the Blues just got Pius Suter. Maybe that means Braden Shen becomes available. I don't know, and I haven't heard anything. I'm just trying to get creative here because the Hurricanes are a really good team. This is a move that you need to make to get even better. Maybe you don't even lose Kotkaniemi in the deal. Maybe he moves to the wing. I don't know. But to me, that's a glaring spot on what is otherwise a pretty good team. So, what do you think of the deal? What do you think of Nikolaj Ehlers? Does he have more to give? And let me know if you have begun to wrap your head around the new reality of contracts that really begins over the last few days. $8.5 million for 6 years for Nikolaj Ehlers was crazy talk not that long ago, and now it seems downright reasonable. Let me know what you think in the comment box down below. For now, that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really like to tell your friends the Dane Train.